How's everybody doing? We're doing great. We had no power this morning. So we had a big fire and, some electricity arced out on the power lines and everything. And we came in this morning and we had no internet. And I said, great, we got Nate coming over today. We don't need internet. So anyway, we're here, you're here. Thanks for coming out in the yucky weather. Give me something you are grateful for. I'm going to start right now. I am grateful that Chemo's in the house. Nice to see you, Chemo. So nice to see you. So yeah, give me another gratitude. I almost took his eyeball out with that one, but you gotta be on your toes. Hello, I know. What are you grateful for this morning? Wow. Y'all, we start with gratitude. Goodness gracious. Okay, who's got one?
I got her.
Okay.
We'll be back in the Keller Williams house.
All right, Robin.
I'm grateful that my daughter is in town looking for an apartment and a job to move back to Georgia.
So glad to hear that. So glad. All right, Marinelli first, then Miss Myra.
I'm grateful for this bell right here because I love her heart and I want to try to do it like.
Oh, one of the more like congratulations. Good morning, Lydia. All right, Myra, what you got, babe?
I am grateful that I have 2 listings closing back to back after months and months of dragging in the market. Yeah.
Feels good. How many of you feel really good about the spring market?
Me. Yes.
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be amazing, right? I mean, finally, we've got buyers that are going, oh, maybe we should buy now. I don't think interest rates are gonna do much, right? So now it's nice that everybody's kind of getting back in the saddles. That feel good?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Meredith, how about this lunch, you guys? What do you think? Yeah. Meredith, come on up. Thank you for lunch today.
I'm so sorry about that. I was gonna say, let's give it up for Chick-fil-A, really.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, and then go short and sweet, babe.
Short and sweet. Hi, everybody that I haven't met. I'm Meredith Willis. I work with Residential Inspector of America. So some of the key things that we offer is going to be our $100,000 of free warranties. So we've always had those. Your clients don't have to worry about them, think about them, do anything for them unless they need to file a claim, in which case they can call me, they can call our customer client care team, and they will walk them through the process of filing a claim. But again, other than actually having to file a claim, they just have those free warranties, no extra thought to them. So then some of the new things that we rolled out last year was going to be our 200% guarantee. So if your clients have a issue with their inspection, something with the inspector or something like that, they can call us and we will not only refund them for that inspection, but give them a second inspection for free at that property address with a different inspector. And then also our same day or next day guarantee. If we can't get somebody out to do your inspection that same day or the very next day, your clients will get $50 off, as well as same day reports back. If you don't get your report back by midnight of the day of the inspection, your clients again will get $50 off for that as well.
Well done.
Any questions?
Well done.
My mom's from New York. I can talk fast. All right. Does anybody want to?
It's a skill I admire greatly. Nice.
You want to draw for me?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, we're.
Okay.
Work hard.
Here we go. I'm not looking. I'm looking at Kathy Ray. I'm not looking. Here we go.
You're like, it's not.
That's yours.
It is mine, but it's got a name on it. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, thank you, Meredith. I appreciate that. Onward. Where's my onward gal? How are you? Girl. All right.
Hey guys,
Wow.
good morning.
Good morning.
Hi guys. So real quick, as you guys know, we have the 2024 economic forecast coming up. So this is where you guys want to register. It's going to be a Zoom. It's going to be this Thursday, January 25th at 10 a.m. So I think it's good stuff. If you have the time, please register for that.
I want to just interject here. Y'all know Scott, my husband. you know, he geeks out on numbers. Yes?
Yeah.
Those of you who know him, he will be glued to this. So if you, seriously, if you want to know the numbers and you want to be able to interpret that data to your clients on a high level, please, it's a Zoom. This is it. If there's nothing you do out other than this week, do that. It's amazing.
It's gonna be awesome, absolutely. And then also, as you guys all know, homestead exemption, it's that time, so it's time for another touch. If you guys want this flyer, let us know. These are all hyperlinks. So if you send these to your client, they simply just have to touch it and it'll take them directly to the county. It's a nice touch, absolutely. And then it's just top of mind, let them know. Even for folks that didn't close in 2024, it's a nice touch. I can't tell you how many people we chat with and they forget to do their homestead exemption. Crazy. A little bit of savings for sure. Yeah. And then your onward 6, I did put it on the Facebook page as well. So, you know, if you guys have any questions, we're here for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Who's here? Amy, are you? Hi, Amy.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, so my name is Amy Smading. I'm an attorney with McMichael and Gray. And I just wanted to, first of all, cover one thing. So whoever all is going to family reunion, we're gonna send out a flyer, but we are gonna be hosting a happy hour. So hopefully y'all are coming and y'all can join us, but it is gonna be on February 28th. That's the Wednesday of family reunion from 5 to 7 at Southern Highlands Golf Club. I'm not familiar with the area, but I am told that that's off the strip, so we will have shuttle buses taking to and from to the happy hour. So just put that on your calendars. And I also want to chat with y'all real quick. I taught a class last week. It was
packed,
totally packed. Thank y'all for coming out, and hopefully for those of y'all that came, you learned something new there. It was divorce, death, and probate. And I kind of wanted to chat with y'all here at team meeting very briefly. How many of y'all have an estate plan set up for yourselves in place currently? Okay, so about a little less or maybe half the room. So that's awesome for those of y'all that do. For those that don't, it's really, really important to get that set up. And one touch that I think would be good for your clients, for people you've closed with or even prospective clients, ask them how they hold title. That's a really big question. And for going into the probate side of things, if they have the joint tenancy language on their deed, it doesn't have to go through probate. It would revert to the other party fully. But a lot of people don't realize that, or they don't have it set up correctly. They may think that they have it joint tenancy, and when it comes down to actually selling the property, they realize, oh my gosh, I have to go through probate now because we held as tenants in common. So that's a nice way to touch, see if they have the deed held the vesting how they want it to be or how they're thinking that it is. So that's one way to reach out to them, but also just want to stress the importance of getting an estate plan in place for yourselves, recommend it for your clients, and have them kind of review through what they have and make sure they have everything in place for how they think it should be in place. All right, thank y'all so much. And if y'all have any questions, let me know. Okay.
But in Georgia, without saying, isn't it tenants in common?
So yes, if it just says Amy's mating and Dan's mating, nothing else, it is gonna be tenants in common. It has to have that language below it as joint tenants with rights of survivorship. So if you do not see that language, it's tenants in common. Great question. All right, any other questions?
Now, this is also a really good seminar. If you're going to go through that whole process of planning your own estate and you might as well share it with your clients and use that as a way of bringing Amy in and y'all doing a seminar together. It's a great touch. So why not do that? Because if you haven't done it, bet your clients, most of your clients haven't done it either. It should be a great seminar to do and have that extra added value to them. Yeah, thank you. Cool, thank you. All right, Tammy, do we have Tammy Dale in the house? No, all right, Tammy is Georgia Natural Gas. You guys, you can save your clients a ton of money. This is your referral code. Your promo code is KW Roswell. And Derek with Up Equity, come on up. Everybody give Derek a clap.
Big crowd today. Hey, everybody, my name is Derek White. I'm with Up Equity. We have a buy before you sell program. I want to give just a brief overview of the program. I know I did a couple weeks ago, but we're in the new year, so I want to make sure everybody understands how the program works. So for your clients who have a home that they need to sell prior to purchasing a new home, we're going to enable that client to be able to put an offer on the new home without having to include a home sale contingency. So they're going to be much more competitive than they otherwise would be. Ideally, they're going to leverage this program to get under contract to purchase a new home. And then from there, what we do is we're going to give them an interest-free bridge loan based on the equity in their old home to use for down payment on the new home. In addition to that, as long as they are doing conventional financing on the purchase side, the mortgage payments for the current home do not have to be counted in the debt to income ratio for that new home transaction. So we're going to bridge them from their current home to the new home. And then from there, they have a 6-month window in which to sell their old home. And even if it gets to that 6-month mark, just to give you a general idea, they're still going to get full market value for the sale of their old home, even if they get to that 6-month mark. This is not an iBuyer situation. Any questions about that part? So for a proposal, it will take you 3 minutes probably to fill out our form to request a proposal for your client. So if you have a client that's on the fence, who fits this situation where they have a house that they need to sell, they're just not sure if they want to mess with it, just get a proposal from us. We'll have it to you in 24 hours. We're not asking for personal information from the client, other than how much they owe on their old home. If you're going on a listing appointment, this is a great tool to present. You could even put together a proposal before that listing appointment. It might be a differentiator for you as far as the other agents that are calling on that listing as well, to be able to kind of give them options. So don't hesitate. When in doubt, just get a proposal from us. It will take no time, and it'll lay out all the figures for the client. So I'm a resource for you guys. Any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You guys should all have my contact information.
And it's
take
right
care
up here.
And it's right here.
Remember, this gets sent out to you guys at the end of the day. Raven sends that out. So if you want a proposal, this is where you're gonna go. Yeah?
3 minutes, I promise you. That's all it'll take to fill out the proposal.
Just put in an endorsement for you. I worked with Derek before and it's a breeze.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Roxy. Appreciate it.
Nice.
So yeah, we're here to take care of you guys. So appreciate your business and looking forward to a busy year.
4 more in 24.
Okay, that's
4 more in 24. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, last one is Diana Devers. I don't have those, those little seller and buyer guides that we've been showing you? Well, and last week, the buyer guide was wrong. We've got new ones. Have we got new ones in? I'm not sure.
they're ordered.
Yeah, so we should have them in. So if you guys want those buyers and sellers guide, need you to reach out to Miss Melody and she'll get them taken care of. All right, Sam, what do we got? You just sat down. Ready,
Gosh,
ready,
really
on the
good spot.
spot. Hey, how you doing? What do we need to know?
Well, actually, can I ask a question?
Yes, come on up. Sam Jackson, Director of Technology.
So I had this shower thought the other day of like, you ever like have the time like you just need time to think with like no technology? That's my problem anyways. Y'all love like the text messages that we do here, right?
Yes.
Who would be interested in doing what I'm calling an advanced golden text class where you actually hand your phone to a partner?
Oh, this sounds exciting.
This may be a really, really small group. I was thinking like, what if I were to create? an
So far, it's
advanced
only
golden
Sarah.
text- No, no,
So far, it's just Sarah. Wait, I got another one over here.
Because I know that we have these hesitations of like, oh, I don't want to do it, but like, if I were to just hand my phone to Kathy Ray and say like, send these text messages for me, do you think your business will grow? All right,
Yes.
it may be a really small group, but I want to get that in the calendar, that's what I was thinking, that's all.
Okay. Who's interested in that? Raise your hand big. I mean, now, this means you gotta trust, right? This is a whole trust thing. Wow, I'm proud of you guys. Okay, we got a total of 8% of the room, Sam, but hey.
Like, if your goal is to get 4 more in 24, like, I guarantee we can do that.
Yes.
Let's just do it.
We
Cool.
can, we
All right.
can. That
Look
is,
for that in the calendar then.
that is our motto for Roswell in 2024. 4 more transactions in 2024, just 4 more. Just
Per
four more.
person.
Per person. Four more. Right? Thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. Four more closings this year, right? Four more for you, Tawan. Yes, right? Okay, good job. Thank you, Sam. I think that would be a really phenomenal class. All right, you guys, tools to run your business. Remember, all of these are linked. You can go right there where you need to go. We've got a couple of classes coming up this week. So I know we've got a lot going on, but I'm gonna highlight just the one already that that Onward has given us. How many of you are dual career? Okay. Ignite After Dark, right? It's a great resource. Jump on to via Zoom, 6 to 8. And you're gonna hear people from all over the US that are teaching this. So Miss Julie will be teaching in February.
I think on the February 13th.
Yeah, but that started last week.
It
It did. Now remember, there are no CE credits for this, but it will teach you what you need to know, right? So please do join on that. Who has signed up for Ignite? Who took Ignite yesterday? Was Carrie awesome or what? Yeah. Yes, right? So I'm super excited about that. If you missed yesterday, but you need your post-license course, it's okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Okay, Carrie, come on up. Everybody give Carrie a love. This lady, I have fallen in love with this lady. Seriously. So Carrie came from another KW office to pursue her dream of becoming a productivity coach. She was the Market Center tech trainer at her other office, and you were volunteer PC coach for a while, yes?
Was, yeah.
All right, tell us what we need to know about you. This is your new productivity coach, Roswell. And pretty amazing. So I gotta brag on her. Tawan came in one day. This was Carrie's first day. So Tawan comes in, he said, I'm here for Live Legion. Okay. We don't have any Live Legion today. And so I send Carrie a text. What you doing? And she said, oh, I'm here. And I'm like, could you come down to my office? Sure. She comes down and she took Tawan and did a 3-hour, basically coaching session with Tawan on the spot, nothing prepared. Boom. Did you get a lot of value from that?
Yes.
Tons of it, right? So what do we need to know about you, Carrie? Why'd you get in real estate and why do you want to do this crazy PC job?
Okay. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
My name is Carrie Walters, and I have been in real estate for 18 years. I started at the Keller Williams Buckhead office. I live in Roswell, I live in Brookfield. I have 2 teenage boys. They're 15 and 13 at IA and at Crabapple.
Y'all pray for a sister. She has 2 teenage
The
sons.
13-year-old is killing me right now. He's a hot mess. I have always mentored and taught. I love teaching classes. Before real estate, I was a mechanical engineer. I have an engineering degree from Georgia Tech. So I'm particularly interested in systems and technology and love helping agents kind of get their hot mess express together so that they can communicate authentically with more human beings and close more business.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want it to be authentic with other humans and close more business, right? So I encourage you, reach out to Carrie. Her number is on here. Reach out to her, talk with her because she will help you grow your business. This is what she does. And
Let's
she has
come up with a
fantastic
plan for
business.
your 4 more
Yes.
and 24.
4 more and 24. That's it. All right, everybody, good. All right, this week's market update, you want to handle?
I would love to handle it.
Let's handle. All right.
Let's handle the market, y'all. Okay, I do not know how to handle this stuff.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, look,
All right, excuse us for just 1 minute.
2 buttons.
look. To the right,
Julie, I figured it out yesterday. Okay, y'all, okay. Peanut gallery.
left, right.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. You're on it. Well done.
And this is the only page that I need, so she's already got it for me, so great.
These are the numbers from today, okay? We have 148 new listings, 48 back on the market, 124 price reduction. That's good. That's a good thing. So active listings, total active listings, I'm skipping down. What I'm noticing is it's gone down, right?
Okay, so yesterday it was 10,027.
Yes. Yeah, it's gone way down. Things are selling, y'all. Things are selling. The spring market is so here. It is so here, and it's probably gonna go through the end of June, somewhere around in there. Do we think interest rates are gonna come down before the end of the spring market? Probably not. Maybe, maybe a little bit, but I was reading an article that said we may see under 6 before the end of the year. Is that gonna affect the spring market? Probably not. Probably not. But as you can see, things are selling. We have 165 of those active under contract. We do not have a lot of coming soon listings. So I kind of feel like everybody jumped on the beginning of the spring market, listed all their property, and then they're just kind of sitting back and waiting. I don't think we're gonna have a whole lot of increased inventory as we move into June. So our months of supply is down just a titch to 2.3. Median days on market is 21. I think the average is in the 30s, probably around 36 or 37. 30-year fixed is at 6.87, so it's hovering right around there. It hasn't changed too much. Our 15-year fixed is under 6 right now, I believe, like 5.9, somewhere around that area. So does anybody have any questions or any comments on the spring market or the market stats? We're heading into it. Okay, you guys, we're in it. So this is your opportunity to get out there. If you've got buyers, there are probably not gonna be a lot more listings on the market than there are right now. So.
And I would just say, check the expired and withdrawn in the next 2 weeks, because it's getting towards the end of the month.
Yep, and that's for those of you who call expireds and withdrawns, your time of the month is coming up. So get your fingers ready to dial. All right, so let's do a little role play here. So here's what we're gonna do. Who wants to tell me what the Ford method is?
Family, occupation, recreation, and I forgot what.
Dream. Good. So you know that you can start up any conversation with anybody when you ask them about their family, when you ask them about what they do for a living, when you ask them about their vacations or what they like to do for hobbies and things like that. And hey, what's your dream? Where would you like to go? What's up with you, right? Some people are a little less open to sharing a dream. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take 2 minutes. I want you to turn to your neighbor and I want you to ask your neighbor, how's the market? You're gonna ask your neighbor, how is the market? And then you're gonna go through these. Ready, set, go. All right, nice. Okay, so how many of you actually had the conversation? Nice, nice. How many of you just got to know your neighbor? Yeah, I see you. I see you. Well done. Okay, let me ask you, how hard was that? It's not hard because we know, and I say this all the time, that when somebody asks you how the market is, please don't say, well, I can use some listings. That's not how the market is, right? Oh, well, I have some buyers trying to, no, that's not what they're asking. This is your opportunity to shine and really show something. So, yeah, Sam.
Can I share, I think it's really important to say the market is fascinating, but I think
Yes.
the most important thing is asking that, why do you ask? Because you have control of the conversation when you're asking questions. If you go into spewing stats, you lose that game.
Right, right. And what's really great is you can always turn those stats into questions. Why not, right? When you say, do you happen, the market is fascinating. I'm curious, do you know what the average 30-year fixed rate is for mortgages? And most people will, and you say, just take a guess. 8%, 5%. If they're a millennial, it'll be 3-4% because they've never experienced it. For 10 years, it was under 5%. So that's their norm, but that's not the norm for 30 years, right? So being able to turn any of those into intriguing, provocative questions, that's where you're going to get that engagement, right? So thank you for that, Sam. All right. I'm super excited because I'm really excited about this guy, and I have never really had a chance to get to know you, Nate, like we got a chance to know you. Of course, I know this one, so this one makes you look really good. So I just want to tell you that this one makes you look really good because JC is highly respected, right? And Nate, we got a chance to get to know each other, and he shared a little about his journey. And I just said, oh my gosh, you got to share. You have to share with with the agents, because you know what? We can get out there and do the stuff. We can get out there and we can do the grind, we can drive, we can door knock, we can do the open houses, we're doing our listing presentation, we're putting buyers in our cars, and then the buyer decides not to do it after you showed them 50 houses. How many of you have been there? And well, I won't admit 50, but but we do need to slow down and take care of us. Mental health is everything, because without it, we're miserable. We all know people that are like that. So let's focus in on ourselves now. I'm super excited. Nate Mirabella, come on up. Everybody give Nate some love. Nicker, do I need to give you instructions?
Essentially, it's just two buttons, right?
It's
Left and
just
right?
two buttons. Wow, it's really complicated around here, guys.
If you need
To
it.
the right and left. You got it?
I got it. I got it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Nate, thank you for sharing with us. Just be yourself. We're here to
My best.
learn.
I don't know how to be
I'm gonna
anybody
go
else.
find a spot out here so that we can take what we need.
Absolutely.
And we're just gonna learn from you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Man, what an honor it is to be here with you guys today. I think mental health is one of those things. I think one of my goals by the time you leave today would be you leave thinking it's just health, right? There's no difference between mental health and the rest of our health. And let me just start with something, just a little housekeeping here. This is going to take 30 minutes of your time. Those of you who just came for lunch, you're about to get way more than you bargained for. So buckle up, but just resist the urge to respond to that email, that text. Don't be thinking about that offer you got to write up. all that will be waiting for you when we're done. Let's focus in together and work on ourselves. So I want to start by asking a question. And if you guys would be so courageous as to raise your hand, how many of you personally or someone in your family has been really affected by a challenge related to mental health? Wow. That's just about everybody in this room, right? The National Institute of Health tells us that 1 in 5 of us will experience some type of significant battle with anxiety or depression throughout the course of our life. The good news, we're all in this together, right? And we're doing a good job of talking about mental health in the macro sense, right? We have a month dedicated to mental health awareness, right? Which is great, but we don't do this enough where I'm going to unpack my story so you guys can hear what I went through and what I've done to come out on the other side of it. So, so resist the urge to respond to all those things that'll be waiting for you when we're done. So I'm Nate. Really, I'm JC's husband. Let's be honest. And I have personally experienced severe anxiety and depression as an adult. And I think it's important as we unpack all of these tactics that I'm going to share with you. Ultimately, I have 9 tactics that can help us be the best version of ourselves. And this is going to be an important piece that I dial in on, which is don't forget to live. Don't forget to serve yourself. You guys are in a service industry where you serve clients. Don't forget to live. So, but to get to where we're going, I need to take a step back to 2021, which is where my journey with mental health began. So 2021, we've all kind of lived a lifetime since then, right? Time just feels different since 2021. And, you know, we were in the midst of COVID. COVID had just taken its first big spike. My day job, I work in an industry that was very closely related to the pandemic. It was really, really stressful. And we all have, we're raising kids. We got those emails or texts where your kid had a known exposure or a close contact. It's like, we didn't know what we were navigating, what we were up against. It was really stressful for all of us. We didn't have a source of truth where we knew, okay, I can definitely count on this. And then you had everybody arguing on social media, right? It was like, hey, it's a hoax. Oh, you need to wear a mask. You don't need to wear a mask. We had all this stuff where we're just like, I'm just trying to live my life, trying to figure out how to make decisions, try to help serve my family well. So right on the heels of that first COVID spike, JC, beautiful bride, has a routine doctor's appointment. And so we're navigating all this COVID stuff. JC has just a normal doctor's appointment and they find a lump in her breast, which isn't great, right? You never know exactly what that means, but it generally means you've got to navigate some stuff and get to what's going on. So the doctor finds a lump in her breast. Well, then through, you know, all this stuff, all the tests, all the biopsies, a month later, I'll never forget, she gets a phone call from her doctor and she writes down, I can still see the pen, ductal carcinoma. It's a form of breast cancer. My wife's diagnosed with breast cancer. So we're navigating all the COVID stuff, the trauma that comes with a cancer diagnosis. No one in our family had ever experienced that before. So we were the first. So if you or someone you love has ever gone through a cancer diagnosis, you kind of know what comes next. You got to learn more. You got to put together a treatment path, right? So we did all that. And then a month later, our treatment path involves surgery first. And so JC has surgery. Everything goes great. And the doctors come and say, hey, everything went well. Here's, all the recovery stuff. And so, I kind of have to breathe that sigh of relief, like, hey, my wife's good. Like, we made it through surgery, right? Well, then I get to the recovery room and JC is not well. Something is not right. She tells me she's not feeling well. Her color's off. Turns out she was having an emergency bleeding situation post-surgery. So on this whirlwind of like this roller coaster of like, oh, she's good. We made it through to like, oh man, they take her back to emergency surgery. I spend the next hour and a half thinking I might lose my wife. I didn't. She's here today, right? Amen. Amen. And so after all of that, she recovered, you know, we get her back home, and for the next few days, I didn't feel right. Something was going on and my stomach wasn't right. It's like, I knew something was off, but I didn't know what. That following Sunday, after we came home from the hospital, was Mother's Day of 2021. I'm going to say this, and some of you might be able to relate to this, but I had my first full-on anxiety panic attack. I thought I was dying, right? Some of you maybe have experienced that. I hope you never do if you haven't, because it's awful. And what my mind and body were telling me is, you're done, right? You can't take any more stress. And that put me on a 3-month journey, essentially, of trying to figure out how to put one foot in front of the other again. And one thing that's important to mention, I had never experienced ever in my life any kind of anxiety or depression. It showed up unannounced, like a freight train. I had no idea what to do. Ultimately, that's why I'm here today, because I'm going to tell you about what I did do. And there's two things here. One, I'm going to share these tactics because they helped me dig out from the depths, right? If you put these tactics in place, I don't think you'll ever end up in the depths. I think I ignored the warning signs for too long. So my journey included counseling, medication, meditation, diet, exercise, community, all these different things. It took me about 3 months where I felt like I could be a contributing member to society again. I mean, I was a shell of myself for 3 months. Well, then throughout the course of that, I got to a place where I was good. I was having lunch with a friend, and as good friends often do, he challenged me and said, well, what are you going to do with all that? What he was saying was, how are you going to take what you learned and help others? That's why I'm here today, right? Robin, so honored to be here, really am. I'm here to share the things that helped me dig out. And oops, bear with me a second here. Two buttons. Here we go. All right, we got two things going on. So the first part of my journey was healing through counseling. Now, this may be perceived as some bad news for some of you, because we all, whether we know it or not, experience some kind of trauma in our life. And this is what I learned throughout my journey. You can't run from it. You have to at some point face it head on. These are some really interesting quotes about trauma. If you continue to carry bricks from your past, you'll end up building the same house. Trauma creates change that you don't choose, and healing is about creating change that you do choose.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And the thing is, we heal for ourselves so we can create the future that we want with our loved ones on our terms, not someone or something else's. And here's the thing. It's hard. It's hard work to sit across the table or the desk from someone and just open up, right? And this is really interesting shift for me. I remember growing up thinking, oh man, they're going to counseling. Oh, what's wrong with them? I've done a complete 180. If I find out you've never been to counseling or therapy, listen, no judgment. I say this partly in jest, but I think, oh man, they've got some stuff deep down somewhere, and it's going to come out at some point, whether they talk to someone professional about it or not. So talk therapy. It's really important. Right?
Yes. I wasn't a believer until I was.
So counseling. I'm going to show this image. How many of you can relate to this guy right here? In y'all's business, listen, I'm married to one of you. The deal fell through. The inspection report is this long. There's no way they're gonna do the punch list, right? The seller wants to list for way higher than what their house is worth. This is a stressful business, right? I'm married to one of you. I know it. I'm kind of her counselor, right? To talk her through the ups and downs of what you guys go through. And here's a really interesting quote on stress. And this is, you'll notice the theme throughout this. Stress, anxiety, and depression are caused when we ignore who we are and start living solely to please others. Now we have to serve others, right? We're in a service business, but we got to help ourselves first. I'm going to show you guys this, and this may be familiar to some of you. This is called the stress continuum. Anybody seen this before? So here's what's cool about a room like this. You guys don't play in this comfort zone. You're all entrepreneurs. You're looking to grow and learn and be the best version of yourself so you can serve others. So this is our optimal learning zone, right? You have two axes. You have your performance axis and then your level of stress. So this is, you guys live here, right? It's the optimal zone. Listen, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm serving my people. Problem is, you end up in this distress zone without necessarily knowing it. And then obviously our performance goes down and it can lead to fatigue, exhaustion, anxiety, and ultimately where I ended up, just a complete breakdown. And you know, one of the things that's important, your body and your mind, they work to protect you. So if you've ever had the conscious, could be subconscious thought, I'm operating at a pace that's unsustainable, that's your body and your mind protecting you, saying, hey, pump the brakes, slow down, take care of yourself. Now, the tactics that I'm going to share from here on out are all to help this stress cycle, right? To help reduce stress, because stress reduction is super critical. And I do want to share one simple tactic. This is so easy. You're firing off an email to a client that you're frustrated with, or the agent on the other end of the deal is just awful, right? You guys deal with that all the time. You're firing off an email, your jaw's tight, right? You're clenched, your shoulders are tight. Typing like this or texting, the angry text. The angry text, I've seen it so many times. Just in that moment, just turn on some music. It changes everything immediately. It just does. It's just a simple way to reduce stress. If you take nothing else away, turn on music when you feel it. You'll feel it next time. You'll be like, God, Nate was talking about this, Turn on some music. Also, learn the valuable art of saying no. Protect your time. 2022, the year after JC's cancer journey, we said yes to everything. Well, we learned that was a terrible idea, right? But we missed out on so much because of her cancer journey and my mental health journey. We're like, yeah, we want to do all the things. Go to all the dinners, all the social functions, all the vacations. Well, then 2023 was, we ain't doing nothing, right? We're not going anywhere. I don't know where we're at for 2024 yet, but probably we'll land somewhere in the middle, probably, right? But learn the valuable art of saying no. Do I even need to tell you guys that you need to exercise? Do we even need to talk about this?
Yeah, we do.
Well, let's talk about it. How about that? I love this quote. I think Andy Stanley said this. I honestly just remember it in my head. I don't even know if I'm saying it the right way, but making small deposits of time over time make a difference in every area of your life where you want to be successful. Exercise is no different. For your physical health, exercise 5 days a week. And I'm gonna make this easier for you, okay? So bear with me a second. For your mental health, exercise 5 days a week. And again, we don't separate health and mental health. It's the same thing. So just exercise 5 days a week. Exercise 5 days a week reduces stress. We already talked about the stress continuum, improves your mood, improves sleep, lifts your self-esteem, lowers your risk of depression, and slows cognitive decline. I don't need to tell you to exercise, right? You know you need to. But here's something important. I think what happens is we lack discipline in a certain area of our life where we want to excel, we want to be healthy. I love this quote on discipline. It's the highest form of self-love because you're ignoring what you want right now, which is to do something other than anything other than exercise, potentially. You're ignoring what you want right now for something that you want later. In case it's helpful for you, this is my approach to exercise. You have 15 opportunities during the week to exercise before you start your working day, at lunch, and then after working hours. That's 3 opportunities every day. You have 15 opportunities a week. You only have to be successful 1/3 of the time. You've had a phenomenal exercise week. Oh, you missed it? Well, guess what? There's a weekend, right? You can make it up. Just exercise 5 times a week. I try to burn 250 calories 5 times a week. That's it. You don't need a program. You can YouTube anything today, right? Another tactic that I've started, I need to share this. This is, if you need one extra layer of accountability, because we all have demands. Life is busy. You're running a business. Some of you are raising kids. It's a lot. So you're going to have days where you don't have time, right? Look at yourself in the mirror and just break the commitment to yourself. Just say, hey, I don't have time for you today. It may be true, you may not have time, but at least you're acknowledging that, hey, I'm breaking a commitment to myself. It adds one extra layer of accountability. I don't want to tell myself that in the mirror. So guess what? I'm going to get myself outside for a run or to the gym to exercise. So 5 days a week, exercise. Sunlight. So I'm still learning a lot about this, by the way. Photons. Love this definition of photons. They're called packets of light.
Oh, wow.
How good is that? We all need 15 minutes of packets of light from the sun as often as we get it. Now, I know this time of year it's tough, but ask JC, I'm the crazy one. If it's above 40 degrees and the sun is out and the wind isn't absolutely pelting, I get outside. I didn't do this before I had my breakdown because I didn't understand the benefits, but obviously through my breakdown and all my research, sunlight improves sleep, cures depression, lowers blood pressure, improves your eye health, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes, and it improves your immunity. That's a lot of great reasons. 15 minutes is all you need. I'm going to put this up here for a second and just let you guys look at that.
It's Tequila Tuesday though.
See? Yeah, I know it is. This one's tough. And before I say anything about this, I pass zero judgment. I love a good bourbon or an IPA. Amen. But here's something interesting about alcohol. The greater the amounts of alcohol consumed and the more regular the intake, the more likely a person will be to develop temporary anxiety and depressive symptoms. As consumption increases, these symptoms are also likely to intensify. And recent research makes it clear that any amount of drinking can be detrimental to your overall health. Some of you during dry January, why not go longer, right? And look, I pass zero judgment. I've just found that for me personally, this has been massively helpful on my mental health journey. And reducing alcohol consumption is, in addition to potential, I'm not going to touch on other diet stuff. There's other diet things you can do, reducing sugar. I do want to share this though. 95% of the serotonin that's in your body, it's not here. It's here. It's all in your gut. How your gut goes, the rest of you goes. So
Say it's like your second brain.
it is.
The gut is
Yes.
like your second brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to do some more research the sober living movement. It's pretty fascinating. I don't know why that came through. The C is capital.
I have no idea. When you said
That's
it to me, I was
okay.
like, "It's interesting."
That's a
Did-
weird-
Did he mean to do
it's-
that?
no.
Anyway, I left it.
I didn't. It still says the word, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you were encouraged when you watched the news? Doesn't matter your brand. Is it encouraging?
Yeah.
We turned the news off
Long time ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we haven't watched it since. And I can just tell you, I don't miss it. This is a really fascinating quote by John Eldredge. He wrote a book called Resilient, where he says the constant barrage of outrage and injustice overwhelms the soul. And when I go back to where things came unraveled for me, my soul was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with all of the circumstances in my life, and then all those things that were going on in the macro sphere, and social media, and the news, and my soul was overwhelmed. Turn off the news. I promise you won't miss it. This might be a tough one in this room. Reduce your screen time. Ooh. I'm about to give you guys a hack. Was it Carrie? Where's the productivity? Carrie, you probably teach your clients this. I'm going to teach you guys a hack. This is for iPhone users. For Android users, I'm sorry, there's probably a way to do this, but you might have to Google it. So iPhone users, take out your phone. Go to your settings. When you get into settings, hit display. Oops, I'm sorry, hit accessibility. Accessibility. Go to display and text size. And this is a lot of steps. They bury this deep. Okay. Scroll to color filters, and it should be off at the moment. Hit color filters and then turn it on, and the default will be grayscale. Okay. So now, instead of all those pretty apps on my phone and pretty pictures, it's just all grayscale. I don't know why it's not. There's my home screen. I can't. Yeah, so go settings. Oh crap, I gotta go through it myself.
Accessibility.
Accessibility, display and text.
Okay.
And there's a color filters option. Yeah, so
Okay, thank you.
the science says that I just gave you back 50 minutes of productivity per day. 50. That's what the science says. This reduces that need for the dopamine fix of what's going on the gram. What's going on in Facebook world? What's that? Turn it on grayscale so that your phone looks like this. All those beautiful colors going away. So Carrie, you probably teach your clients that already, but I do this all the time. If I have something I need to crank out for my day job, right? I just put it in grayscale. It just helps. I just gave you 50 minutes back. So in addition to reducing screen time, take breaks from social media. When it's Tuesday morning, and it's raining outside, you just lost the deal. Someone's calling you about their dishwasher. Listen, I'm married to one of you. People call about the dishwasher, you're like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But then that's going on in your world. And a random acquaintance is in Santorini, Greece, having the time of their life. God, it's awful, right? It makes me feel terrible, about what's going on in my life. And I understand the business you're in. You want to be on social to market yourself. Just take breaks. That's it. Just give yourself space. The former Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, said this: the most common questions parents ask me is social media safe for my kids? The answer is that we don't have enough evidence to say it's safe. And in fact, there's growing evidence that social media use is associated with harm to young people's mental health. Children are exposed to harmful content on social media, ranging from violent and sexual content to bullying and harassment. And for too many children, social media use is compromising their sleep and valuable in-person time with family and friends. We're in the middle of a national youth mental health crisis, and I'm concerned that social media is an important driver of that crisis, one we must urgently address. So the Surgeon General said that about our kids. Is it any different for us? I don't know that it is. Take breaks. This is one I'm trying to get better at.
Want you to know my Android phone? I did it in 3 seconds with the break.
3 seconds. Let's go. Grayscale. No need for the dopamine. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. This is one I'm trying to get better at. Gratitude journal out. So I love, Robin, that you started this meeting asking what we're grateful for. The famous Chief Tecumseh said, when you arise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. You know, the challenge we face as we live in a day and time, it's full on consumerism, right? It's driven by consumerism, perfection, and a constant drive to move on to the next best thing. We're in an industry where people want to move on to the next best thing. That's okay, right? It's, you know, it's just part of our culture. What we're missing is the joy, satisfaction, and peace that comes with being present in the moment while reflecting on the things that make life truly worth living. Gratitude shifts our perspective from whatever it's on to a place of centeredness. So full disclosure, I'm not good at this. I'm great at the exercise, the diet, the not drinking, but like my day starts, I hit the gym, you know, I kind of get on my work day. A lot of times I skip this, but I'm working on it. And since I knew I was going to be here with you guys this morning, I figured I'd share real quick what I wrote, because this is so important, because there's something about forming gratitude in your mind, but it not staying there. It flows through a pen and onto paper. So my first thing this morning, sleep. Oh, what a gift sleep is, right? My healthy family, what a gift our health is, whether you feel that way right now or not. Your health is a gift. Your health is a gift. Warmer weather, even though it's cloudy, it's warmer than it was last week. Thank God. The opportunity to share my story today. So Robin, thank you for that. Is it still possible to have a bad day after writing all that stuff down? Of course it is. Stuff can go sideways real quick, especially when you're raising kids. Good Lord. But it's a lot harder to have a bad day when I start my day with gratitude. Again, none of this I'm sharing is earth shattering or nothing you haven't heard before. I love this font. Whatever our software didn't agree, but that's okay. That's okay. Nature heals. Being in nature reduces anger, fear, and stress and increases positive emotions. Exposure to nature not only makes you feel better, it contributes to your physical well-being, reducing blood pressure, muscle tension, and the production of stress hormones. If you want to research something fascinating, research negative ions. They exist naturally in nature, in sunlight, in air, especially after a storm, moving water. So waterfalls, the ocean, plants give off negative ions. Spend time in nature.
Calls that you take outside.
Oh, yeah. One of the things so I run a marketing team. That's like my day job. And we spend so much time on calls, right? This is, I don't know if any of you run teams. This is just, I don't know, a tactic that could be helpful. Rather than sit and stare at each other on a computer screen, because we do that all day, every day, we take our walks. Our one-on-one calls are walks. We walk outside, weather permitting, right? Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a helpful thought. This might be new agey for some of you. Oh gosh, I'm gonna ask this question. Who in here practices meditation of some kind? Okay, it's not new agey. For those of you, if you're a person of faith, you can maybe change that for quiet time or prayer. Okay. When was the last time, for those of you that you don't practice meditation? You said this earlier, it's Scott, right? Sand, that's close. You talked about having trouble shutting it off, right? And I think we all have that. But when was the last time you shut off your thoughts and just didn't think about anything? Meditation is a way to do that. There are other ways to do it, but meditation is a way to do it. I love this quote, these quotes on meditation. It is indeed a radical act of love just to sit down and be quiet for a time by yourself. A quiet mind is richer than a crown, and this is my favorite. Meditation is hanging out with your soul. Oh, I spend more time with my soul. The Mayo Clinic says that meditation manages stress, increases self-awareness, helps you focus on the present, reduces negative emotion, increases imagination and creativity. Who doesn't need creativity in this business, right? Increases patience and tolerance, lowers your resting heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and improves sleep quality. If you need a resource for this, download the Balance app. It is phenomenal. It has meditations of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can tell the app how you're feeling today, so it will guide you on a meditation based on how you're feeling. At one point, they were giving away a year of the Balance app for free. I don't know if that's still the case. I'm not endorsed by Balance or anybody. If you want to endorse me, we can talk later. I've just found it's a phenomenal resource.
You're a resident therapist.
Yeah.
He doesn't need any more stress.
No, the art of saying no, right? I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So this is going to sound so simple. And this is all about filling your own bucket up, but do the things you love. You know, serve yourself so that it enables you to serve others. So a lot of these things, right, we were robbed of during COVID, okay? So this is us, you know, traveling as a family, something we love to do. We love to go to football games. I love to play music with my friends. That's just a picture of my dog Champ because he's pretty awesome. But the question that's good to ask yourself at some point throughout the day is, what did I do for myself today? Just be able to answer that question. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. But when you do things for yourself, it fills you up and enables you to serve others, right? You guys are in a service-related business where you're constantly meeting the needs of others. Do the things you love and let the joy that overflows from that enable you to encourage others. Here's just a random thought. Have you ever gotten an encouraging text from a friend and thought, man, I wish they hadn't sent that? You love it every time someone encourages you. So fill your own bucket and help let that fuel you to serve others. What is it Truett Kathy said? How do you know if someone needs encouragement?
They're breathing.
They're breathing. That's all of us. We all need encouragement. So I started a podcast called Chase the Peace because ultimately, if I really get down to the root of everything I want in my life, and I think the same would be true for you, it's peace. I want peace in my relationships. I want peace with my health and my family's health. I want peace with my money. Peace or peace of mind refers to a state of being mentally and spiritually at peace with enough knowledge and understanding to keep oneself strong in the face of discord or stress. Being at peace, don't miss this. This might be the only thing you hear. Being at peace is considered by many to be the healthy and opposite of being stressed or anxious. So peace is the opposite of anxiety, stress. Our goal isn't to have perfect lives because we inherently know that's not possible. I think the goal is to have tactics in place for when life does happen. Peace is not a one-time thing. It's a practice of returning to the present moment over and over again. Robin, I'm so honored that you invited me here. That's the end of my talk. I would love it if at some point you guys engaged with the podcast or me on Instagram, or I'll give my contact info to anyone who wants to chat. But I'm so honored to have spent some time with you guys today, and thank you for being such a great.
It really is when you went through that journey. That was hard. That was hard to see you have to go through that. But health really is when she started going through that, we all rallied, right? Because even though we weren't experiencing it, we were suffering with her. Remember? And so when I know, Nina, I know. But this is where our help, you guys, we're in it, just like Nate says, we're in it all the time. We're just in it. And sometimes if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not, so I love these 9 tactics. Do follow the podcast. Let me have some ahas. What are you getting? Sissy?
I just thank you, Nate. I really appreciate it.
It's amazing.
And I started therapy for the first time this year. And what sent me to therapy was this job.
Amen.
Specifically, but what I realized is there were some other things there as well. But one thing I just want to encourage everybody, that this job is hard. If you're really working full time, and it doesn't matter if you're working full time, it's a hard job. And what you have to do is protect your soul, and it is okay to sit down. If you don't return the phone call or the text in 2 seconds flat, the world does not implode. I set boundaries for the first time in 10 years in this business, and I cannot tell you how it transformed my life and my career. It's my best year yet.
Yeah.
And I didn't return the phone call in 20 seconds.
And you're always a yes person. Sissy is always yes. When you ask Sissy for something, it's always yes. And I loved what you said about no. Right? Susan's not here today, but her word for the year was no. Right? So now every time I see her, I go, hey, Miss No, right? So, and that's great. What else?
I do want to share,
Heather.
I was listening to an audible on the way to work, here,
Yeah.
and they were talking about commitment. And he said, commitment is the ultimate act of self-love. And I was audibling, so I text myself that so that I could remember that later. So it's in conjunction with what I was talking about.
Yeah. I liked communicating with your soul.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really powerful. What else? Go for it, Heather.
When you said, I used to look at people who went to therapy and think, what's wrong with you? I almost expected you to follow that, but now I look at people who aren't in therapy and wonder what's wrong with you. And I don't know why I had that thought, because it's never been my thought. I was like, okay, so I guess that was in there somewhere, where you didn't say it, but.
It was implied.
Susan.
I think the gut brain connection,
Yeah.
that's what I've been learning this.
Mhm.
And it's huge. I think we underestimate what we swallow, but that's.
Yeah. I mean, remember seeing the poster in school, we are what we eat? And truly we are, we are what we eat. And what's interesting, Diana Kokoska said at the ALC retreat, help me remember, those of you who were at the ALC retreat, remember Diana said that there was a study done that when you eat more sugar, help me Kathy, you guys remember, when you eat sugar, your body will crave it for 3 days. Am I right, Keith? 3 days, right? Because, so when you think about that your body, your physical body is fighting against your mind because it still wants the sugar that you had 3 days ago.
And talking about sugar and cancer,
Oh, yeah.
because of what I went through with my husband,
Yeah.
they take sugar and they put it in the radioactive liquid to inject it in your body so that the sugar will go to the cancer because it feeds it.
That's what it eats.
That's what it eats, and that's what it feeds off of.
Yeah.
Put that in your brain.
because.
Every time you put sugar in your body,
Wow.
cancer is
Interesting.
pulling it toward it to feed it.
Yeah, wow. It's not, so Myra.
There's a documentary Netflix called You Are What You Eat.
Yes.
Watch it.
Yes.
It's a game changer.
And if you're watching documentaries on Netflix, let's throw in The Social Dilemma. How many of you have seen that one? If you watch The Social Dilemma, you'll throw your phones out. You'll be like, I'm off of Instagram, I'm off of Facebook. These people aren't gonna control me. And then a month later, you're back on it. So if you,
But 50 minutes less.
yes, 15 minutes back, yes, great skill. Heather.
I will agree with, shutting off the noise. I have a lifelong history of like anxiety and panic and all that. When COVID hit, Joe said to me, you are no longer gonna watch the news. I will watch it and filter what you need to know. And it was like the most protective act that it's done.
Right.
Because I just couldn't do, I mean, I would have unraveled during that time.
Yeah, I'm exactly that way. I get my news from Scott.
Yeah. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah, I don't watch, I don't read it. I don't read it, I don't watch it. So if there's something that I need to know, I'll say, anything I need to know, honey? And he'll let me know. So Lisa.
Every single word, Nate, that you spoke, I am on there at 100%. COVID just destroyed our family for the most part because of a friend of my daughter's. And we never allowed phones in rooms, ever. And it was the only way kids were communicating, right? Everybody thought in their rooms.
Yeah.
And because of Instagram, my daughter found her friend's suicide note online. Everything you have said, and from that moment, I've become like a mental health activist in my home. Diet, exercise, I preach it. My daughter's studying psychology now in college. She's like, I diagnosed you with food OCD. I'm like, I don't do that. It's just that you are being, and that gut mind connection, I'm going to, your podcast is gonna become part of my everyday. And one thing that stuck with me through all of my research, through all of this was, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. And every single day, if I walk, if I have 15, 20, 30 minutes to do any kind of exercise to increase your heart rate, this is like my passion. I am so grateful that I came in today, and I'm so grateful that you were here today, because it is, you just spoke my heart, and honestly.
Future podcast, yes.
Fun forever.
And drink water. Lots of it.
Yeah.
Susan.
Alcohol.
Kudos to him for being brave enough to bring up the alcohol.
Yeah.
We're in a culture where that kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah.
I just really like the beginning, how Nate started with, like, just saying this is your health, because I think there is that stigma, like you were pointing out, or when you were saying about, oh, that person's in counseling. I experienced that myself within my own family, because my parents' generation, seemingly, things have progressed with talking even about mental health. So just saying it's your health may be like a barrier to break down. Because who would want to take care of their health? And so that's like your brain health, or we're talking gut health. And then I think another really, it crosses over into real estate, and JC knows about this recent, very first client. I don't get fired often. But when I do, I reflect on it, and it's very deeply personal, when that happens. And I took this for 90 days. That's too short. That I broke all these rules down for myself. I took a lower commission, red flag in the beginning. They were horrible for 90 days, emotionally, like abusing, 2 sisters. And even towards the end, I said, hey, we're expiring, what are we doing? Ghosted me. silent abuse.
Didn't
Like-
take the offer that you brought them.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's beyond. Yes, we would have
Throw that in
yeah.
there.
Signaling able buyers, people.
Yeah, all of that, and more that we will skip, but don't be afraid to protect your peace, like Nate said. You know, we don't need to be treated that way. We need to value ourselves, as we all know, you know, in this business. Is that one person, you could have 3 more amazing clients that you're making room for. It's time. Like, do not be, just call me at this point, like I should know this. Next agent came on, super sweet, called me. It's like, I have one of your signs in my truck. I'm like, throw it out. You know, like I'm done over there.
No association ever
No,
anymore.
I wanted to call her and I was in the middle of a move and all the craziness with my life. And so I texted her a couple of days ago and she's been at it for only like 2 weeks with them. And I said, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't get back to that. My sign just trashed it. I hope you're doing well with the listing. Like, I wish you the best of luck, like above board, like I want her to sell it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh, thank you for your kind words. Well, like 48 hours later, she's texting me like, I'm gonna fire them. And I'm like, oh, wow, you wanna talk about it? Like, I'm here to vent, I'm here to help you through that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're doing something that I should have done earlier. And on a professional level, wanted to help her protect her peace,
Yeah.
basically. And, yeah, it's gotten pretty far to where that's gonna happen. And she's also now trying to protect other realtors at that broker over at Ansley to say, maybe they should be for sale by owner
Yeah.
and not keep running realtors over.
Yeah.
So,
Anybody else fire an agent or fire a client? How'd you feel afterward? Right. Right? I mean, I remember firing a seller that had such unrealistic expectations and I literally felt like skipping to my car. I mean, I'm like leaving the door and I'm like, I literally wanted to skip and high five. I was so happy to be rid of these. But again, like you, I let it go too long.
yeah.
And then after a while, I'm just being seriously abused at that
Yeah.
point, and that's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, so just tagline, chase the peace, like protect your peace. It's so helpful to think about, like, do that for yourself.
No kidding, no kidding.
I think people can be the noise, right? I think that's the lesson there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get to choose, we can choose,
Toxicity.
yeah. All right, anybody else? Yes, Stephen?
Yeah, actually, I have some, I think it's actually about 2 weeks ago. Thought it was about stress, but I come to find out it was always happening when I was in the car. It ended up being the air pressure I was using. You just look around you, you're breathing in what's around you, and back to so grounding as well.
Yeah, interesting, yeah, Michelle.
kind of air freshener?
Let's all go.
Fill it out.
You gotta understand that candles and air fresheners are not naturally something you should be sucking in your.
No, you know what, I don't know.
talk for 3 hours about that.
Well, right, I'm sure that I shared with Nate that, that our granddaughter was diagnosed with cancer at 15 months old, went through a 6-hour surgery, chemo, 3 years later, a year and a half later, a 7-hour surgery. She'll be 14 next month, cancer-free. But but Vanderbilt sent him home with a notebook this big of all of the things to get rid of in your house. Right? It's just all the chemicals and candles and air, anything like that. They check.
That could be our next talk.
It should be our next, that'll be our next talk. We'll have that. Michelle.
Take the chemicals out.
Yes.
I was just sitting here thinking while he was talking that I guess coming from corporate America, I can't believe we're sitting in a room in a meeting having this conversation and how lucky we are specifically in this market center that it is very supportive. I always try to come to it because it's uplifting. And even though we deal with people every day, this job to me can be very isolating. Sometimes you can feel very alone. And so team meetings always supportive and I don't know. So go back to the beginning when you said, what are you thankful for? I was realizing I am very thankful that I'm at this market center and surrounded by people who are.
we're all in this thing together, right? Anybody else want to share? Thank you for that, Michelle. Anybody else? Yes, Ryan.
I was just gonna say, every once in a while, I substitute teach, mainly in the middle school where my kids have gone, and it's kind of a way to get in there and like, see what's going on. Once they get to middle school, you have no idea what they don't want to talk to you about. You don't get the notes.
Yes, that's right.
You don't even see them working, or it's all on the computer. And anyway, I was in the PE class yesterday, but part of the PE class is you teach a couple of periods of health. And, the whole thing yesterday was I had to do the whole thing on bullying, and I see some of the other things that they do there, but I think they do such a better job now in middle school and in lower grades of making people aware of mental health and talking about it. And I've heard them have like suicide prevention talks, and they've had things about reducing stress, and just things that we never had, I think, when we were younger, and mental health was this, like, oh my God, you're seeing a psychiatrist, or you're crazy, those types of things that weren't an issue, and I hear them talk about it, and they use phrases that's very adult phrase they use there, but they're getting exposure, and they're learning about those things much younger, so I'm hopeful that as they grow older, they won't have those things, and people, won't have those things.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's encouraging to hear. All right, you guys, let's just do one more round of applause for today. Thank you for your vulnerability and your transparency, and just for pouring back into us today. We appreciate you both very much. All right, you guys, we have how many more in 2024?
4.
But we do it healthy.
Yeah.